All right, everyone, we got to talk about Les Wexner briefly, front page news a couple days ago. What happened is Obama went to Ohio to give a speech. And Les Wexner, who supposedly is like far-righter or something, he's like a GOP donor. He claims after he saw the light because Obama's just such an inspiring figure, so he left the Republican Party. I'm thinking to myself, the Democrats right now, supposedly liberals, are cheering on the fact that an 80-year-old multi-billionaire who supported Jeb Bush and Mitt Romney has now, I guess, left the Republicans. I think the Republicans are better off for it. The purging of old rich people from the Republican Party demonstrates not a weakness within the GOP, but its fundamental transformation away from being, towards being something more than just a rich old person's party. One of the biggest problems with the GOP for fucking decades in the wake of the Reagan era is that they sucked up to a bunch of corporations and banks, took the money of billionaires through a bunch of super PACs, and didn't represent the working class. That is, there was no working class party in the United States as the Blue Dog Union Democrats began to lose power within the party in favor of neoliberal corporatist Democrats. At the same time, there was no working class like populism within the Republican Party. What the fuck did they do for the working class? Oh, we're going to lower your tax rate by 0.5%. It's a big thing. Meanwhile, we're going to let big businesses offshore all the time. There's a reason why all of the rich people and all of the billion-dollar-plus corporations, Silicon Valley, a lot of, anything outside of automotive and fuel, basically. There's a reason why they're all trying to gang up on Trump. Because they're terrified that we will actually have a party within the United States that stands for the working class. That right now is the Trump element of the GOP. Why do you think, for example, riddle me this, why is the GOP not doing what it's done in every other period where the Republicans are in power and the economy's growing throughout the last 30 or 40 years and crowing about it every day? Why instead are they so silent about this? They don't want Trump to get credit for a good economy. They're not going to talk about it at all. They would literally rather lose the House and Senate because they have more in common with the Democrats than with Trump. They would rather lose the House and Senate and implode their own movement temporarily to stop him than deal with the fact that Trump might undo the damage that they and the Democrats have done for the last fucking 3 decades. That's what they've done. They sold this nation down the river, and now all of these corporations and rich people are still backing the same people. Jeb Bush is not a conservative. Les Wexner is not far right. He's not a conservative. He's a corporate Republican. He has nothing in common with Trump. He has much more in common with what the Democrats have become. Trump is nothing more, here's what Trump fundamentally is, than a throwback to the business Democrats, to the pre-liberal era Clintonian Democrats. When the Democrats began to stop being a working man's party and started just using wedge issues in the wake of Mondale's failure against Ronald Reagan, they switched and they became like Reagan. They realized that the only way to combat him was to be like him because he was so popular. That's what the Democrats sold out, became neocons, adopted neoliberalism, forced the business Dems, the union Dems to the side, and now they're whining and dining the far left that they at that point basically expunged and said, well, your ideas are a little bit out there. Those people were all a bunch of anarchist hippies. They were never Democrats at the time. They were hated by the Democrats too. But now they've realized, hey, wedge issues are great. We can even get people who have nothing in common with us to vote for us. One of the biggest problems with the Republicans is this. It's basically like, hey, you're in the middle class or you're working, you're poor or whatever. Why the fuck are you voting Republican? They're not going to help you at all. The same can be said now about the Democrats. If you aren't making millions of dollars, they don't give a fuck about you. They'll pretend. They'll say, hey, you're black, so we're your best friend. Once they get elected, are they going to help your so-called black community? They're going to help the inner cities? They're going to reduce the gang crime rate? No, they want the gang crime rate to be higher so that there's more gun crime. It helps them to pass shitty laws. They don't want to help you in your poverty. They don't want to help some inner city ghetto any more than they want to help some rube living in the backwoods in a cabin. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about me. I'd have to make 10 times the money I'm making now for the Democrats to give a fuck about me. Les Wexner, yes. I really care what an octogenarian multi-billionaire has to say. I don't care about all of his philanthropic work. There are plenty of philanthropists in this world. Some of them are conservative, some of them are liberal. Jeff Bezos is a philanthropist. He just freed up how many billions did he just pledge to build a bunch of fucking preschools around the world or some crazy shit? And then he's like, well, the child will be the customer, and he's saying some dystopian stuff. Yeah, he's a philanthropist, but that doesn't mean that his political views are good. It's partially for branding. You get in the news when you do stuff like that. Les Wexner got in the news. Goal achieved. He's worth $6 billion. He's worth as much as a Donald Trump. It's like when they talk about Bloomberg. They had a story a few days ago, and Michael Bloomberg was going to run. And they're like, well, I think this would be great. I would love it. It would really lay bare what the Democrats have become. Oh, you mean your candidate is going to be an old rich dude? Oh, ha. Who would have imagined that? The Clintons, yes, they were really working class individuals. No, they weren't. Hillary Clinton was born with a silver spoon in her mouth. She can talk about her middle class upbringing all she wants. She was, her family's Goldwater associates. Fucking, she went into law very early on. She had a 6-figure salary before 6-figure salaries were a thing. Yeah, they were really poor. They know what it's like to be working class. No, they don't. She doesn't know what it's like to work at a blue-collar job. She doesn't know what... Yes, I'm sure. I'm out with Pa today. Dear Diary, today we split wood. Dear Diary, today I got down in the trenches with the boys and was playing around changing the oil on their automobiles. Dear Diary, today I had an abortion. No, Hillary Clinton, Les Wexner, and the Jeb Bushes, the whole Bush family, really, all the Clintons and Bushes. Mitt Romney, all these people, they're all the same. For instance, 2012 comes along. Now, I had voted for Obama in 2008 because I was, at the time, young and dumb, didn't realize that Obama was basically just doing the floor show. He wasn't actually going to fulfill his campaign promises. There would be no end to the war because the war was profitable, and he was a corporate neoliberal, which he is. I mean, it's Cult of Personality 101. I remember when the liberals made cool songs like Cult of Personality, by Living Colour, really great song. I wasn't there, I think, when it was first made. I think it comes from 1989, if I remember correctly. But it was big on TV. They played it all the time. I thought it was pretty cool. It's gotten to the point where in 2012, I voted for Ron Paul. Because the Republican Party offered up Mitt Romney. Basically, they said, screw the youth, screw, people who are actually fiscally conservative, basically the Trumps, who can also be Democrats. Business Dem, actual conservative, join at the hip, basically the same thing. Neoliberal and neocon, who currently run these parties, basically the same thing. They want corporate money. Okay, your $10 donation doesn't faze them. Doesn't matter how many people get together. They realize 100 million Americans combined can't contribute as much politically as one Silicon Valley corporation can. That's what they realized. You have Citizens United. Basically, it's follow the money, stupid. I voted for Ron Paul because the Republicans wanted to offer me Mitt Romney, but I was comparing what he was saying to Obama, and I'm like, what's the difference? It's the same fucking shit. It's like, again, if you were to take what they said during any of their debates and run it through a voice program so that it deleted whether it was Romney or Obama saying it, if you just took their quotes and write them down, you wouldn't know who was who. I guarantee, unless a person's like, a master's degree in political history or something, they're not going to know the difference. It was the same platform. And then Obama taking a few cheap shots about horses and bayonets or killing Big Bird or whatever. And it's basically all that happened. That's it. The Republicans were run by a bunch of neocons. Mitt Romney, one of the people who Les Wexner donated to. Of course he's not going to like Donald Trump. Donald Trump's breaking all the corporate toys. He's deregulating things. Let me tell you this. Big corporations don't want deregulation. Those regulations don't faze them. They don't have to abide by them because they have armies of lawyers to make sure that they escape notice when they violate the EPA regulations or mistreat a worker. They can throw money at their problems. Can the mom and pop bookstore? No, they have to abide by every regulation. What about the tax code that Trump is attempting to simplify, reducing taxes? That doesn't help a corporation. Some of these corporations, because of the tax schemes that they use, they already don't really pay anything. You can't lower their taxes, but you can lower their competitors' taxes because their competitors usually don't have the money to have an office in Bermuda and an office in Ireland and an office in Malta or something, and so they have to pay the full business tax rate. But Amazon doesn't. Apple doesn't. GE doesn't. They don't have to pay those. Raytheon, all the same groups that mysteriously seem to make massive campaign contributions to Democrats and to rhino neocons. Wow. It's amazing how that works. So I'm not surprised that Wexner would leave the Republican Party. He's bitter because the Republicans are being led by someone who is a populist, who is doing things that primarily do not benefit the top 1%. It's like with the tax code. Now, people have been so propagandized to, they think that the multi-billion-dollar, often multinational corporate media is telling them the truth about Trump. Oh, his tax code is helping corporations. No, no, no. For the first time, it's a Republican tax reform that doesn't just help corporations. It helps people like me. You know, in the upper, 5-figure brackets. I'm going to save thousands of dollars. As a ratio, I'm saving money hand over fist. It's wonderful. People in the working class saving thousands of dollars. Corporations, they're saving peanuts in comparison. Again, some of them already don't pay anything. Some of them have a net positive tax burden in which the government is paying them to exist, despite the fact that they should be paying billions of dollars a year, simply because of the tax schemes that they use. And then California gives all the Silicon Valley handouts. They get corporate welfare. Yeah, they definitely shouldn't be able to censor anyone on their platforms, not publishers, their platforms, because they take tax subsidies. The taxpayers pay them. They're owned by the public. They're socialist, I guess. They're communist platforms. Oh my God. Shouldn't be able to ban anyone at all unless they're breaking the law under U.S. law. So yeah, fuck Les Wexner and fuck the GOP too. It's like some of these people, they should be defecting too. Jeb Bush should put a D after his name at this point. Be honest with people. Stop calling yourself a conservative when you're not a conservative. Jeb Bush is not a conservative. He's a neoliberal. Neoliberal, neocon, interchangeable. They're synonymous. They're the same exact fucking thing. Wedge issue driven, pro-corporate tax code, pro-corporate legal system, pro-for-profit prisons, pro-proxy war. What's the difference? Made up of billionaires. They take this money from the same people. Now, what woke me up was when I realized Goldman Sachs had funded both Obama and Mitt Romney. At that point, it's like, oh, that's a little bit odd. Maybe I should look a little bit deeper into their platforms than just the public platitudes that they spew out on the debate stage. If you did, you wouldn't be a Republican or a Democrat either. When people think that I'm a Republican, I fucking laugh heartily. That's about all. Peace out.